Bill Burr, ladies and gentlemen, he is having a rough month. He is hitting the cancel list on a lot of people with the fact that he's calling for the death of billionaires and the alleged murderer, Luigi, until he goes on trial. But I mean, from everything I know, he's admitted to it. He's proud about it. There's video of him executing the insurance CEO. And Bill Burr went on Jimmy Kimmel and said, "Free Luigi." And now on his podcast, he's calling for billionaires to be put down like rabid dogs. So, these Hollywood celebrities, they don't fail to disappoint. But we're going to listen to some of his audio and his video and just so you can have it and just understand that I'm not making this up, that he's actually did this. But this is what these he says he doesn't like left or right, but I mean, this is definitely a more Democrat-leaning person, and they're calling for the death of anyone that's basically rich, anyone that has a business with no nuance of the fact of like how they're rich. But let's get into it, and we're gonna watch the Jimmy Kimmel segment where he says "Free Luigi" just so you can hear it and understand it.
I love how all the chatter out there is about bands of illegal immigrants and homeless people lighting fires. They light fires every day. They're living outside. They're cold. And this theory that some homeless guy without a car went from Altadena all the way to the Pacific Palisades, and then we have a hang glider. And they're talking about looting. But CNN and Fox News are not going to bring up the insurance companies that are just going to keep everybody's premiums and still give themselves a bonus. Yeah. Yes. Free Luigi.
So like I said, a man that we got on videotape of him executing another man, a father, a guy that's a CEO of a company. Yeah, he's done well. He's worth about $40 million. And essentially, Bill, like to me, that points out the fact that he's okay with people going and murdering someone just because they're slightly rich. I would also like to point out that it's estimated that Bill Burr himself is worth about 15 to 20 million. So on the scale of rich versus not rich, and if you're calling for the death of rich people, I don't think Bill Burr really wants to be doing this. It's when it comes to people that don't have much, and he's riling people up. He's got a big fan base. He's got a lot of people watch him. I love Bill Burr. He's hilarious. He said some funny things, but what he's doing now, I can't get behind him, and I don't want to support him anymore. I can't. He's literally calling for death. He's calling for the death of people, of rich people, of CEOs, and I like how he mentions that the things that are going on with fire. We have videos of homeless people lighting fires, not for warmth, not to stay warm, just and he kind of lies about everything that happened with the LA fires, doesn't mention the mismanagement. But besides all that, he says "Free Luigi," that this guy is openly admitting to, executing the CEO. But that was back in mid-January. Let's go to a more recent. I think this was just yesterday or maybe today, that he did this on his Apple podcast. This is what he was saying.
And if you work a full fucking week at a job, you should be able to pay your fucking rent. You shouldn't have to go out and get a fucking job and still be struggling. It's bad for the country because then the kids don't see their parents and they're not getting the upbringing that they need. It's so fucking, these fucking billionaires, they need to be put down. Like fucking rabid dogs. They're like rabid with fucking greed.
Rabid with fucking greed. Okay, so, I mean, sure, are there some rich people out there that probably do some not so good things? But to have the idea that just because someone is rich, like he is rich by all accounts, is he just some a-hole that's cheated people and done nothing to get to he's at the 1% mark. But these ideas that these billionaires are so greedy. Taylor Swift, she's a billionaire. She's worth 1.6 billion if I'm not mistaken. Should she be put down like a rabid dog? Or is it the idea that she had some talent? That's debatable. I maybe not think so, but a lot of people think she's great. She's done a lot of music. A lot of people go to watch her concerts. A lot of people spend money. She's made brands, and she's made more money than she's made businesses, selling products, doing different things. She's got several things under her belt that has propelled her to make that much money. And this idea that like just because you're a billionaire, it's like it's so many of these leftists and these Democrat people, they think that anyone that's rich, it's worth millions of dollars or billions of dollars, that their house is built on a mountain of cash and it's just sitting there and they're swimming in it. They don't understand the fact that like Taylor Swift, 1.6 billion, probably 1.5999 billion is invested in the businesses, is invested in stocks, is invested in these things, is invested in assets of the businesses that are like the money isn't just, they're not sitting on it. It's the fact that the money that their worth is in the business itself that like pays who knows how many hundreds or thousands of employees and pays for insurance and does all this stuff, and then it has the building that people are in and its expenses of like utilities and electricity. Like there's the money isn't just chilling and they're holding on to it where no one else can have it. That's not how these people acquire wealth. You don't acquire wealth by holding on to it. In fact, once you start getting rich, you understand that having cash on hand is actually bad. That the value of your cash, because of inflation inside the United States and the dollar's going down all the time, our fiat currency loses value. It's actually a terrible idea to hold on to cash. You want to have that invested in anything to try to get some return on it. But he is openly calling for violence, and we've already seen it. Luigi enacted violence on a rich CEO, not too far off from where Bill Burr himself is. Not too far off from him. But he's calling for violence against rich people. He's calling for violence against billionaires. And to my knowledge, everything is still up for him. He has not been canceled. He's not been taken down by Apple. He still has all his supporters. I don't understand how he is not being canceled immediately. He is the division. He is the one talking to the common man, riling them up and trying to get them to go out and do crime. Murder. That's what he's calling for. I don't know how. I don't think there's a way going, well, no, in the context, he's literally talking about Luigi killing a CEO. In the context, he's saying they need to be put down like rabid dogs. A dog that is rabid, you kill them. That's what he said. There's no other context. Bill Burr, he's been funny. I've watched many of his little specials and comedy shows. I think he's hilarious. But I can't support anyone that does this, and I'm going to speak out against it. And, you got to be held accountable for things you say. What do you say? There's no free speech is not without consequences. Which, calling for violence is against the law. I don't know. We know that. But Apple's still giving him a platform, and anyone else that's still giving him a platform. I don't know. This just seems wacky to me. Maybe let me know what you think. Should he be canceled, or should we just, hey, let's ignore this. He's a crazy guy. He's a crazy rich guy. I don't know. For me, I'm following the law and that he shouldn't be. And I know if I said anything like that, I'd be canceled and I'd be shut down. So it's kind of like I would like the equal application of law, but that's just me. Let me know what you think. Until next time, guys, y'all have a good one.